There he goes. Look at that. That's what a winner sounds like right there, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the winning sound. Hello, everyone. My name is Josh, and welcome to episode 195. Jesus.
Can we just kill this thing yet? Jesus Christ.
Episode 195 of the Chain and Rant podcast. I'm your host. With me, as always, is my bearded co-host, Mr. Andy Fusco.
That's me.
And, of course, we have MOK in studio today.
Meatloaf Kelly.
Hey.
In case you didn't know what that stands for.
And, Scott, would you like to introduce our illustrious guests?
I would love to, because we're back from Chicago, and we have Chicago, and we have
Cole.
we got a couple.
Wrap your PORTILLOS in some Illuminatis.
That was Boston, but close. So we decided to call a couple winners and have them on the show, and also Brad. So we have the grade 4 winning band's pipe major, Steve, here. Steve, wave to the audience, will you? That's Steve over there, yeah. And in the other corner, we have the grade 3 winning pipe major, Dalton, old friend of the show, old friend of mine. Very handsome with the Jesus locks. Perfect timing, by the way, for the Supreme Court decision, by the way.
Oh, really?
And then, of course, up in that other corner is Brad, our friend, who we went and played with his band in Chicago. And then staring at us over there is Kelly, who also went to Chicago with us, which was amazing. We'll tell all the stories.
Not all.
all the nonsense.
Not all of them.
Great things. And, great lead-in.
Thank you.
So, life checks. Hey, Sco.
Yes, Josh.
How you been, mate?
I'm great. It's great to be back from Chicago. It's great to play again. We played in a contest, believe it or not. It's the first time in years.
It's great to not be in Chicago.
Well, it's also great to be home. But I just mean it was great to go play and do something. Thanks, Brad, for inviting us.
I feel like we should probably elaborate on that a little bit. So we are now service band pipers.
That is correct.
Yeah, that is 100% correct.
Although I played with Wake before, so technically I was.
You were already a service band piper. So we're now service band pipers. Beer Boy invited us out to go play with the Oklahoma Fire Pipes and District Band and District and Drums and District.
Correct.
And it was a good time. It was fucking...
Let me tell you how painful it was when he hung that fireman flag, and I was like, I can't believe I'm actually here doing this. I was playing a service band. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You would just,
and then you got drunk and forgot all about it.
I didn't care at all. It was great fun.
You would have rather just been at the bottom of the stairs when the service band member came to lift you out.
Exactly. Which almost probably happened.
Yeah.
There's probably a fireman carried me to my room at some point, I imagine.
So, Beer Boy... Do you want to, for the audience, do you want to explain how you ended up with these two assholes at your contest?
And why?
And why?
It was at the Vegas games that I asked you guys. And I was just feeling pity that you guys weren't able to play bagpipes with your pipe band. And I was like, maybe you'll come and play with my band. And he said yes.
And there we are now. Legends in Chicago.
I like that it was a pity motivator.
It was a pity fuck.
Just like most of my days.
I was going to say, most of my dates, yeah. We all went for the same joke on that one.
We've all been there.
So Fusco.
Yes, Josh.
Apparently, as the world's most famous bagpiping podcast, we got pity fucked into going to play bagpipes.
Sounds about right. It's pretty normal for me. Pity fucked.
Hey, great session. I love taking it out with the Oklahoma folks. Aside from your former pipe major, what's her name?
Oh, you're gonna call people out?
I'm not gonna say it on the radio.
Yeah, she sucks and she's bad at bagpipes. But other than that, I thought. Oh,
I can hear the complaint call.
Wow,
now.
What are you?
I can't wait till next week. Fast forward to next week when Josh is giving an apology.
No, I'm not going to do an apology. You know the thing that fucking cemented it for me.
Oh no!
Here we go. You're gonna go right into it, all right?
I'm going right into it.
it.
Was we're warming up.
Steve's gonna hang up on us.
We're warming up, and this is like on the day at the fucking contest, right? And this motherfucker, I'm not gonna say who it was just like, just play Octagon, because your band, Beer Boy, you'll hold high A's while you're tuning.
Yeah.
Which, perfectly fine. I'm not going to judge
No, it's fucked.
Bagpipe Daddy, but it's going to fuck you up because like you're not actually playing through a tune. Like you should play through a tune when you tune.
Right.
And so Sco and I are playing through fucking what we did
Green
Hills, the same shit we always do when we're tuning in our band. And this motherfucker is just like, just play Octagon or just hold a high A. I'm like, now that's in my head. I'm like, Green Hills wasn't in your head, like yet. You're gonna march in and fucking play Green Hills accidentally? I fucking doubt it.
They don't. Yeah, it's unlikely.
But anyway, yeah, that person's not, dude. So I pulled Beer Boy aside and I was like, "Hey, that person's not good at bagpipes."
Well, they're a grade 5 band.
And it was his old fucking pipe major.
Oh, right. Okay. From which band was that? What was the pipe major? What band? I don't remember you being in another band, Brad.
Let's get into.
I played in another band before this one.
Oh, okay.
They don't compete.
Captain Vague. I love you, Brad. I love you.
You should name it.
Thank you, Captain Vague.
He's still sober. He's being very political right
Yeah.
now.
What band was that, Beer Boy?
He just said he wasn't going to say
It's another band here in Oklahoma City.
Hey, Triple Brav. Was I right
About what?
about the person not being good at bagpipes?
Oh, yeah, he's not even gonna.
For those of you listening to the audio version, he fucking nodded.
Kinda. That was not a committed nod at all.
All right.
All right, so Sco, take it away, my friend.
All right, so the whole point of all this is we got to go to Chicago, we got to witness at games, we got to perform in the games, we got to see lots of bands and old friends of ours.
Honestly, the most impressive showing of pipe banding in the United States I've seen in a very long time.
It was awesome.
Yeah, the Chicago games is well run and a lot of bands, and Wake was there. They drove all the way out from, well, you guys flew, I imagine, from North Carolina.
Half and half.
So that was great. Our tent was right next to Wake District, which was lovely. And then Chicago,
Intentional.
City of Chicago was right around the corner, which was great. Well, our friends in the City of Chicago pipe band. So it was cool to see. Like there was a lot more people there than I knew than I expected to know, which was nice. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. There was, I don't know how many bands there were, but there was a shit ton of bands.
There were a lot of people there that apparently I know that I don't actually know.
Well, there's that too, of course, sure, yeah. But there had to be like what, 40-ish bands total, maybe? Anybody know?
I think there was 38.
It's 42.
42? Okay,
42?
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Like I remember like
Jeez.
seeing Dalton and I was like, I know you.
Well, of course, it was the Joe Brady who was there at 7:30 before everybody. Because he doesn't sleep, he's a vampire. But,
He's a vampire. Yeah.
But so we saw him early, and then as the Wake boys started to show up, and girls, excuse me, shout out to Kelsey, by the way. That was a lot of fun. Joe started handing us stuff.
Immediately.
We were well foffed out by 9:30.
Joe is like the fucking like if you ever been to a convention.
Yes.
And there's a person that's like just handing you
hands
all
you-
the T-Mobile shit. Like, yeah, like, you definitely need wristbands. And you definitely need this. And I'm like, Joe, everybody already knows who you are. You could ease up off the throttle, my friend. Just to,
Oh
No,
no! I'm
no.
sorry.
You never
Everybody
marketing.
had his shit on. The guy is
you
a
never,
genius.
you never let up, which is great. And then of course we actually got to play and watch some bands play, which was a lot of fun. Brad and I and Josh, you did some recording for Big Rab, I believe, as well. I saw people recording and doing stuff.
Hi, this episode of Big Rab Show TV brought to you by Alcoholism and Beer Boy.
So what I thought was, it'd be cool to have some of the winning pipe majors on from the various bands and Brad of and talk a little bit about maybe get some insight into the story of their success. Perhaps we'll talk a little bit about that in a sec. I have talked to the grade 2 winner, and he has agreed to come on at some point in the future. He is traveling this weekend.
Oh, omelet?
Yeah, and then the grade 5 winner as well is also traveling to compete this weekend. So, so the first question I have for our guests is, why are you guys so lazy and not going to Ohio and keeping up with your wins? I mean, you're just going to let somebody else take it from you? Is that what happens?
Well, in my case, we've got a good chunk of players who don't actually live in Chicago. They live out of town or in another state, so asking them to go to another state like almost every weekend is a big ask.
Oh, yeah. Oh, don't we know that? You can't ask people for anything these days.
Motherfucker, we can barely ask people to go to practice on Thursday.
I know. That's a whole thing too. But yeah, so what's your Steve? How do you guys work in the grade 4 band? Like, how many games do you go to a year? Like, what is your plan? You must develop something over the wintertime, I imagine. Like, oh, we're gonna go to so many games a year, and what is your philosophy?
Yeah, we do try to keep it as local as possible, but mainly to events that most or everyone can go to. So, unfortunately, this season it's only 3 games. Alma, which is just a few hours away. Chicago is local. And then on Labor Day weekend, we'll be going up to Wisconsin for the Waukesha Games. There was another contest in July in Minnesota. I don't think we were planning to go to it anyway, but it got canceled. But it's mainly going to events that everyone can make is the main thing.
Gotcha. Okay, so you want to be in full numbers as best you can for each event that you go to?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what is your schedule like in the wintertime and leading up to your competition? Alma was what, like a month ago or so?
Yeah, Alma was a Memorial Day weekend, and before contests, our off season is practices mainly, one night a week, Thursday nights for us, and then generally one Saturday a month, roughly once every 5 weeks. That's when we get all the out-of-towners in and just do a full day of workshopping everything.
Do you guys have an instructor you bring in to work with you on the weekends, or is it local guys like Tristan or not Tristan? Is it who's your grade 2 pipe major?
Pat.
Yeah.
Pat handles the grade 2 band, and I handle the grade 4 band, and Andrew handles the drumming in both bands.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool. Excellent. So you run the Saturday practices 100%?
For the grade 4s, yeah.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Nice. So what would you attribute to your success so far this year? And
Well, it's really it starts back at the once we got into lockdowns from the pandemic. We couldn't get together for practices because none of the venues would open their doors.
Sure.
So what we ended up doing was I had a lot of free time, and I did a 30-minute Zoom with every one of my pipers once a week. So I had 10 pipers, and then Monday 6 o'clock and 6:30, Tuesday 6 o'clock 6:30, different piper each time slot. Mm-hmm. Did that for most of a year, and it was really beneficial that they could get the one-on-one attention that I couldn't give them at 2 hours on a Thursday night.
Sure.
And then one of our pipers actually opened his home to us, and we started having practices at. He had a huge house and property, and we could practice outdoors there. And so we started doing that every other Saturday for just get together 2 or 3 hours and do chanter and pipes. Mm-hmm. And then eventually, once we started having practice halls open their doors again, we got back into the regular routine of Thursday nights. And just what we had worked on so long on our own, when we brought it together, was such a greater product than we could have anticipated.
Oh, nice. So did your people work through the pandemic, do you think? Were they practicing? Did they go?
Yes, I forgot to mention that. But I encouraged them to get into solos. Really only a couple of them picked it up, but I had them send me recordings of themselves playing on their pipes twice a week. And so I could give them feedback on that as well and things to work on. Nice.
Okay. I've heard of other people. That's the Richard Parks model. Meet with people privately.
Yeah, Parksy he not only meet, he would, like, what was the thing he told us? He's like, yeah, I just call every member of my band once he has a schedule.
That's amazing.
Well,
so
he works with them individually.
Throughout the week, he'll just I'm going to make sure if I don't meet them in person, I'm going to call them at least and just check in on every fucking human.
Well, no, he specifically does what he's talking about, sits down and has private sessions with them to make sure they know what he's doing, what their style is, what he wants from them, et cetera, et cetera. Very similar kind of thing, private.
How often do you do that with Angel? Just curious.
Oh, never. Absolutely never. Yeah. So that you got to find Angel first. Where in the world is Angel Joseph?
Where in the world? Currently, Washington.
He's somewhere. He's on a mountain somewhere.
He's on a mountain in Washington.
Speaking of mountains,
this is why I implant chips in all of my players. I can track you all the time.
Speaking of mountains, we have the mountain himself, Dalton, also here, the pipe major of the Waken District Pipe Band. The whole band, right? So
The big boy.
The big boy.
Yeah.
So because the Waken District has a 3, a 4, and a 5, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, we currently have a 3 and a 4, and we ebb and flow in and out of a grade 5 depending on if we need to have a full separate kind of tier for beginner players.
Right.
But if we only have like a smaller grouping of them, we can kind of push everybody into the 4, then we do that.
Right. Good. Yeah. So Ken.
So the 5 is where you would play.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah.
I heard the 3. We're out.
No, they're very good. Although they did highly inspire me to want to join Waken District again. But we'll talk about that.
Come shred, bro. Come shred.
Oh, dude, absolutely. You guys were amazing.
It was my favorite set of the whole fucking weekend.
It was good. Yeah, real good. But Ken Groot, lovingly known as Groot, is your pipe major of the grade 3 band specifically, and he was moving today, so I couldn't get him on the show. But
wait, how do you know which one's Groot? Is it a guy that's 7 feet fucking tall?
yeah, that guy.
Oh yeah, okay.
And of course, Joe. We all know Joe here, who
Everybody knows
band
Joe.
manager Joe.
He's the guy that's negative 7 feet tall.
Correct. They balance each other out well. So, but
And I'm right in the middle.
and you're right in the middle. Yeah, Dalton shows up with his hair and just does this.
He does his mini Fabio.
Does anybody have a photo of him doing that so we can slow-mo it?
Dalton, you're gonna have to slow mo.
Oh, I'll get Joe ready to get this. I'll have this done.
It's probably already done.
Yeah, there's a meme out there
Last
somewhere.
time I saw you, you had less hair, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't cut it, man. I cut it like once a year or so.
He's like I said, he's a mountain man. He lives in the middle of nowhere in the woods in North Carolina. He shows up. He comes out. He's like
Oi.
Bigfoot. He shows up once a month for band practice.
Oi, bear fucker.
But so Wake had a successful weekend. Fucking ones across the board. It wasn't even close in my opinion. Like listening to the other
It
bands.
looked like a computer was broken on binary code. It was just 1111111.
So like, what the hell happened, man? You guys are obviously working hard. One of the more successful service bands, I'd say, other than Police, maybe Strathclyde Police. I guess I don't know. But what's going on out in Waken District land and grade 3s and obviously success? Where are you guys?
Yeah,
coming
it's kind of. I mean,
You can tell he
there's
wrote that question in advance.
almost a little bit, maybe, and maybe I should pretend like I don't have a prepared answer for it. Is that better? Or do you want me to like stutter a little bit and then get full swing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it. It looks more human if you like kind of like hem and haw through the answer. Go ahead.
I gotcha. Little sponsorship ad read or something in there.
Exactly.
And this answer brought to you by McClellan
Make sure to
Bagpipes.
throw in a
Yes.
McClellan ad. while you're talking.
Artesian bagpipe maker Ronnie McClellan.
Yep. No, we. I think the main thing is that we definitely diversify responsibility, and I think everybody does a little more than just what they're responsible for in the grand scheme. And so we have recordings that we pass back and forth quite a bit. We'll have Zoom calls. We do in-person full band. We'll do just like a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon with just the pipe corps. We'll go over to Seth's house. Seth Wells, he's the pipe sergeant of the grade 3, and he's kind of our tone guy.
Right.
We'll go over to his house to really tighten up the chanter sound and have a quick run through. But it's kind of like, when you're working, whether you're instructing or working on instruments or whatever, that everybody else is also out there doing that. And so I think we all kind of just assume that everybody else is doing it. And because of that, there's a lot of small little dividends that add up. Mm-hmm. So the grade 3, we kind of have like our practice frequency that I feel like treads water, like it keeps us maintained to be able to show up and perform anywhere. But leading up to games, especially bigger games like Chicago, where we have to put in a lot of money to travel, we increase practices to sometimes multiple times a week. And we're definitely like trying to get chanters close a couple of weeks before. And then like the Friday before, we had a full practice that was half rehearsal, half tuning. And we just have a lot of thoughtful and experienced people that we can rely on to just send one piper off if something's not quite right and have it fixed, rather than having to take everything to a halt to fix it to move on.
Right. Yeah. Doesn't hurt having Adrian Melvin tuning the band up on the day either, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have his reads
Absolutely.
and his expertise with the
You know,
his
that was
reeds
the
and
craziest thing because
instrument.
I saw him chewing on a tree right outside of the event, and he was just like, "Ah, nah, nah, nah," and then boom, there was a reed right there.
Yeah. It was funny. Like, I was standing in the way and he kind of yelled at me to get the fuck out of the way at one point. And I had no idea that was Adrian Melvin. Because he had a hat on and sunglasses. I didn't know who. I was like, who's this jerk off tuning Wake and District? I didn't know who he was.
He wasn't wearing any Wake swag or anything.
He wasn't
You're like,
wearing Melvin
he
swag
wasn't-
or Wake swag.
He wasn't foffed.
Because normally, like, because he's got a lot of like.
If he's foffed,
He's got a lot of marketing too. Like, so he didn't have a Melvin hat on or nothing. But if he took his shit off, I probably would have recognized him. But
But also,
he literally yelled at me. He's like, "Hey, get the fuck out of the way!" Like, okay, sorry.
what a fucking Melvin.
What a Melvin, man. But no, that was awesome. That helps too, for sure. I imagine. And Melvin Reeds, we're starting to explore. We're testing all this shit out in Vegas, trying
They
to see
sound
if we can
good.
make it work.
Yeah.
So that's good. And of course, the McClellan Elevation Chanter, which is available now. Just
Wait.
contact your
Joe's
local retailer.
not on this.
Oh yeah, we don't need to. All right, we don't need to do all.
Wait. Hold on. We'll do a good cut. Ready?
All right.
This episode of the Channeran Podcast brought to you by McClellan Bagpipes by North Carolina artisan bagpipe maker Roddy McClellan from Eust in Scotland. They don't strive to be the biggest, fastest, or the cheapest. They do, however, meticulously craft a small number of warm and stable sounding instruments of heirloom quality. Roddy has followed this philosophy for over 30 years and continues to evolve with innovations like the Elevation Chanter, designed with North American bands in mind, providing a lower pitch, rich harmonics, and strong, clear projection. Elevation Chanters, along with chanter reeds from Adrian Melvin, provide a stable platform for a thick band sound without big overhauls. Check out bespokebagpipes.com for more information. McClellan Bagpipes, born in Scotland, made in the USA.
G1 Chanters.
Oh, you fucked that up so bad.
Cocked it up!
Oh, my God.
Come on, we all know everybody.
That's actually
Everybody was playing G1. We know
Nobody likes G1s.
Nobody likes them. But everybody plays them.
I really can't tell whether you're just kind of pulling Big Rab's leg or what. But
Of course we are. Always.
you can be sponsored. You could be sponsored by multiple groups and play multiple things. Like you've talked about a grade 1 band being like, they don't play G1. I can see their chanters. They're not playing G1. They're playing G1 reeds in a different chanter, or they're playing a G1 chanter and a different reed.
Yeah, and that's
right?
why they didn't win and you did.
Well,
I mean,
it's
Oh, Dalton.
Come
Wait, no.
on.
Tell
was
me.
it
tell me.
it that, or was it the moonshine or the bourbon, or a combination of
it was
that with the
combination.
gin and tonic?
It was the moon bourbon.
I'm actually curious too, because I saw Josh and I saw Beer Boy Brad after we played, and I feel like Andy had just turned into like the alcoholic cryptid and just like,
dude, I
was
don't.
gone.
After you guys played, I remember nothing. Like
I have the picture of Sco on the grass, like just
I
like
saw that
laying
picture.
down. Like
When was that? I don't know.
that was after they played.
Was it? Okay, so the last thing I remember was yelling out after you Joe Brady after your medley, like, and you guys, and he turned and sort of laughed at us. All a blank after that until we got to the restaurant at like 9 o'clock at night or whatever it was. That's maybe the last.
It was
the next
not
thing.
9 o'clock.
Or whatever.
Dalton, what
it
time
was.
did you guys play?
Like 3:25, I think.
Something like that.
Jesus Christ, Fusco, you drunk.
Yeah. Hey, this is what I do here. But yeah. So I literally, people said I drank Joe Brady's moonshine. I have no memory of that whatsoever.
Oh no, it was Dalton's peach moonshine.
Whatever.
Oh, it wasn't mine. We brought it though.
Yeah, I don't
It was
remember any
from
of
it was from the band.
I don't
I don't want to out who brought it because traveled interstate maybe. I don't know.
Right. There's got to be rules and laws about that kind of shit. But Steve, let me ask Steve.
Alcohol across state lines.
What chanter reeds does the city of Chicago grade 4 play?
Grade 4 band is playing the R.G. Hardy Omegas, and some players are playing Infinity Chanters.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
So
And,
everyone can agree that G1 sucks.
No, that's not what we're saying here.
No, the grade 2 band plays G1 Chanters.
Right. As does the Oklahoma band.
I'm gonna keep shit talking G1 till they sponsor. So,
Well, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, terrorism. That's it.
The guy with a
you
marketing
want me-
degree is fucking himself.
You want me to stop shit talking your reeds? Pay me.
Yeah,
Jesus.
come on, Jock Elliott, help us out here. So
This episode brought to you by McClellan.
The Infinity Chanters, I kind of dig those. Like, I have a few students that play those solo wise, and I like those. But they're also very similar to the McClellan Smallhold. I don't know what Joe's got going on right now, but I know he's got the Smallhold Chanters, which is the one that I like. Which is similar to the Infinity.
Joe loves small holes.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, he's a small man.
I was just waiting for it.
I did invite Joe onto this episode. He said no, so we're gonna make him pay.
He was the
That's
smart
because
one.
he's smarter than all of us,
He was the smart one.
as per usual.
But yes, so but in the end, we all know, like, I mean, equipment matters a little, but not that much. In the end, it's all about like your preparation and what you know, your process. The process is so
The process
important.
is fucking vital, and I saw so many different processes.
I saw a ton of which is interesting because like people like just hire Stuart Little or whoever, Alistair Henderson.
It's not even that.
Pick anybody.
Like,
Just a coach. Like, hey, how should we do this leading up to whatever? You need a coach. God damn it. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're completely right. Like, I mean, I saw a lot of processes that I don't agree with, but I was a hired gun, so I'm just like,
I don't care.
If
If you want help, ask me. Otherwise,
I'm going to stand.
I'm
going
to do what you do.
we did end up getting asked for help on the Saturday. Like on the Saturday, Bagpipe Daddy, John. He was like, hey, can like run some drones and can you do it? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, no worries. Like we're also not here to impose. The way that I describe it is always like, you know, don't cook in someone else's kitchen. Like, if they ask you to help, cool.
Right.
And that, I think that was fine, but I was like, okay. Even on Friday, Beer Boy, I saw stuff and I'm like, it's not my fucking job. My job is to stand here and fucking play Octagon.
Right.
Stay in your own movie, man.
Well, unless it's tuning and then you fuck it up for everybody. But
no, Beer Boy. So Beer Boy was next to me. We were warming up on Friday, and like my hay was fucking dog ass the entire time, and like kept getting moved, but not like getting substantially moved. And finally, I was like, I'm just gonna fix this real quick. Like, because it was just flatter than fucking Kansas. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to fix this real quick, and then Bagpipe Daddy doesn't have to come around again. And
just do it. Like, and this is my argument all the time is if, and this is the dojo ad part, just so everybody knows. So
Chanaran.com/suck less.
Yeah. So if you know how to make your pipe sound good, your pipe majors, guess what he's going to do? Ignore you. Because you sound good. Yeah. So learn how to fucking manipulate your shit so it sounds good. But anyway,
but it's also like in that point as a traveling player, it's like cooking in someone else's kitchen. I'm just like, yeah, well, I'm gonna wait. Like, I'm not gonna overstep. Because I don't know if you worry about this. I worry about overstepping in that situation.
Oh, of course. It's just respectful not to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying not to fuck with someone else's process.
Yeah. Even if it sucks. If you want help, ask. Otherwise, I'll stand here and play like the rest of you. But so one thing that I did, and I was so fucking hammered. I do remember this part. After Chicago played grade 2, in my opinion, the best tone of the weekend was Chicago's grade 2, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. They were smooth. Like, everybody else's tone was pretty damn good, but also just a little bit off here and there.
There was blowing wavering. Chicago was like fucking
it was
boom.
It was like
Chicago was standard. What's the standard in Chicago? 5.5 inch semi-erect penis.
Oh, I don't know.
That's probably
I don't know. Right? Well, they're Polish or whatever, so yeah, it's probably smaller. But,
I mean, it's not going to touch the bottom. It may fuck up the sides.
And how would you know?
I have no idea. I'm just we talk shit. We don't know anything. Kelly, you have 194 episodes. You haven't learned this shit.
And Kelly and MLK doesn't know.
I'm just wondering.
We don't know anything. We just make shit up as we go. But yeah, no, in my opinion, Chicago's great too. And I told them incessantly because I was drunk and I kept repeating myself. I do vaguely remember telling Hoeneke and Handsome Tony over and over again that their tone was the best. But
Handsome Tony, if you're out there, do not feel bad about the weight you've put on.
Yeah, man, you look good. Weight looks good, right, Brad? Do you want to tell us about your experience with Handsome Tony?
Yeah, I thought he actually looks a lot better with a little weight on him. I like my guys a little thick.
Yeah,
so
aren't you usually the bear in your situation?
Amen, brother.
In my what?
Aren't you usually the bear though in your situations, or?
My situations?
Meaning
Beer boy, are
meaning
you
gay sex.
Wow.
Listen,
You
the
are
world is the
just-
United States is a weird place right now. We can't.
Beer boy, are you a top?
You want to find out?
And this is the line where everything went sideways.
Yeah.
Like if
I
you're
already
looking
have
for it-
photo evidence of you dominating Scope.
No, I was definitely the top in that.
That was him dominating me.
That it was the other. Wait, you weren't even there.
Yeah, he was.
Steve just
Yeah, it was. It was in my hotel. It was in
Steve's
our
just
hotel room.
upset that he's here right now.
Yeah, Steve's like, what did I agree to?
Yeah, let's don't
What did-
scare the children.
He's
you
like,
guys.
what did Hoineke get me into now?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, Hoineke gets us into so much trouble. Yeah, no. So we got
Get back on track.
we
boys.
get back on track. So handsome Tony is handsome. We all know that. It's in his
true.
name. It's in his name.
Yeah, he told me he felt chunky.
He totally did. He came up to us like, yeah, man, I put on a lot of weight. Like,
You look
So did
fine.
everybody.
Yeah, you look fine, mate. Like,
yeah, he still got that fucking smile.
Yeah.
Jesus
he's still
Christ.
got the. He's still got
See it from
this.
across the field.
I was like, buddy, you look good. Like, you still got the. You got the money maker, mate.
It's all here, man. It's not down here. Doesn't matter. One thing he said that was funny. He was like, yeah, it gets in the way when I'm trying to bang chicks or whatever he said, something like that. I'm like, it doesn't get. Trust me, I've been doing it for years. It doesn't get in the way that
Nothing
much.
gets in the way.
You know what really gets in the way? A small penis. That gets in the way.
Well, that's
As Dalton knows.
yeah, Dalton.
I got
Anyway.
nothing.
Yeah, he's got nothing to say about that.
Smart,
Joe Brady would
smart,
say something, but
smart man.
so now for the part of the show where we talk about all the funny stories that happen. Like,
Oh
I'm
shit!
sure-
40 minutes in, we're gonna talk about Chicago.
No, we've been talking about the games and trying to make this about bagpipes for some amount of point. And I imagine.
Now it goes sideways, supposedly.
So I don't know how the city of Chicago grade 4 parties, but are they a party band? Are they like are you guys like
Are
a
you
serious
leaving?
band? Like,
No, I,
Fucking leaving.
I'm gonna piss and get a glass so I can help y'all with your Jameson. I'll be right back.
all right, you do your thing. I will
You
continue
stay,
this.
You're in charge. Kelly's in charge.
Oh,
I got
great.
it. Don't worry, it's fine.
Can you grab me another Stella, please, sir? Thank you.
All right, so back to Steve. Tell us about your band and are you guys a pipe band with a drinking problem or a drinking band with a piping problem? Like, what is?
I'd say the grade 4 band is the more low key of the two bands. I mean, we do have right across from our practice hall is a bar. We go there after practice. But we won on that Saturday and we were happy and we went to the beer tent and had a couple of pints and then gone on with our evenings. I'd say it's the grade 2 band that is more of the partying band.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, if you went to the beer tent after you played, how long did it take you to get the beer?
That was a whole thing.
It wasn't too bad because this was like after the mass bands and everything. So
Oh, that late. Wow,
okay.
okay. Yeah.
Then okay.
yeah,
Because I know
we-
there were pipers that played and they were like, we want to go get a beer, and then there was a little lack of beer tent availability at the games.
Well, we played at 10:15 that morning, so we didn't go to the beer tent
Well,
right
I was just
away.
gonna say,
but
probably
but my,
didn't go then, but
But my sister did hand me a beer after I played. So
oh well,
Well, that's
keep
that's
her.
special.
She's fabulous. But yeah, no. So that's it. You just did one little beer tent and.
yeah, had 2 or 3 pints, and basked in our victory. And
Steve, I've got so
and
much to
went on
teach
with
you,
our
man.
evening.
I got a lot to teach you about
No,
pipe banding.
that's not.
Oh, this is not my first
It's what
rodeo. Let me
not
make
to
that
do.
clear.
He's
I'm just
teaching you
teasing.
what not to do.
I'm teasing you.
I think it also kind of depends on whether you're a traveling band from out of town versus you're in your hometown, right? Like you
Big time. Yeah.
you can hang out, celebrate the play, kind of see everybody you can, and then once it's over, you're like, well, home's calling me, and
Yeah.
you get out of there.
Well, believe me, we have the same thing at the Vegas games.
Yeah, I'm way more sober at the Vegas games than I am when I travel.
I don't believe you.
No, I really,
sometimes,
Other than
but
that
yeah,
year, other than that
actually.
year, Brad fucked me, but
He had-
not.
Dalton, he was,
Not fuck
he was
me, but,
stone
like-
cold sober at the Vegas games this year.
Yeah.
I was pretty sober.
Well,
this year.
because we're, a lot of us
I
are
have shit to
involved
do.
in it.
Yeah, you
but
have shit to
yeah,
do.
it's the same type of thing. You're at home. And for me, the Vegas games are not far from my house. And it's like, hey, I just want to go home, go to sleep. I got to get up and do this again tomorrow. But yeah, the people that are there from out of town are like, hey.
Especially when you can walk to your hotel from the games field, right?
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
that was the cool thing
Opens
about
up all possibilities.
that was the cool thing about Chicago. It was like right. I mean, it's the same fucking grass field next to the hotel. That was
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
Yeah. Like in Vegas, it's a half an hour drive to where the
It
hotels
is.
are. Or 20 minutes maybe.
It's a
but
hike, yeah.
depends. But yeah, it sucks.
That Westin was beautiful, by the way. I don't know.
oh,
I just want to
$200
give a
a night,
shout
it
out
better
to
be.
Chicago. That was really, really cool.
yeah, it's a nice place if you can afford it.
The-
Jesus Christ.
The games were great. The park was fabulous. It was just beautiful.
Yeah, I thought the games was cool. So what was interesting, and Kelly and I discussed this ad nauseum on the flight home, but if you guys want to jump into this, but one of the thoughts I had about the games that we noticed is it seems more similar to me to the games across the pond in a way that like they were sort of set up and designed for the bands and for the athletes as opposed to for the audience. Meaning like the people that they were bringing
It's
in.
a completely different animal.
The fact that they had everything in one day, solos one day and bands all one day, was one thing. Then, like, they had 7 fucking judges or whatever it was, which was awesome. I don't know if they had that in grade 4, but in 3 and 2 they definitely did, right?
Well, and I know Josh is coming back in here, and he'll be able to
He's
correct us on everything. But
he's gonna complain about it all. But
Well, for
how
the
many judges do we have at Vegas?
4.
'cause
That's the
4.
standard. 4 is the standard.
Okay.
3 or 4 is the standard.
And there were 7.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh wait,
Oh, Steve, we lost you.
We lost
you.
you.
Muted,
Hold
you
on.
muted yourself.
yeah, my mistake. Sorry about that. There were supposed to be 8, and then at the last minute, one of them couldn't make it.
Wow.
For the grade 4 event, it was just 4 judges, but for the grades that were playing 2 events, they went with all the judges, and so that's why the 7 judges. It was supposed to be 8, and then
Even still,
for
like, that's amazing. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
yeah,
that's
I
not
like
cheap,
that
though.
the judges got to sit under a tent for the presentation style events.
Yeah, the medley stuff. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Which
we not
that's the
do
other
that?
thing too.
We don't
they
do that?
No. In the medley event, they do the concert formation. You don't have to march into the circle. You face the judges or the audience, which is what they call how they judge the audience. In the MSR, they do it the old school way, march into the circle and all that, which is cool, which is fine. But and I totally forgot that Chicago sort of started that. At least in the U.S., I don't know about elsewhere, but they started that sort of concept of like let's do medleys in a concert formation. And I know like in the British, where is it? The indoors and Vancouver, whatever, I forget what it's called, the British indoor, or the whatever the hell it's called, British Columbia indoor, BC indoor. They do the same thing. They do it on a stage. They do concert formation, whatever. But like in a Highland Games outdoors, this is the first time I've ever seen that. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I forgot about this. This is awesome. So that's another thing they do differently. Like there's so many things that I found interesting and cool about this.
It is really neat and really does innovate and cater to, playing to the audience instead of having people stare at pipers' backs for 5 to 7 minutes.
Or Dalton's ass.
I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. But
I agree.
The bit about space where it was designed to basically fit the events. Well, if we could find them, the maps of the layout of the games every year has been slightly different because there's been more and more changes to what land there that we can and cannot use.
Right.
For example, that huge NTT data center, that wasn't there a couple of years ago.
Oh.
So we've had to, adapt to what land has been available to use, and we've just had, okay, this strip will be the band row, and this spot will be a competition circle, and so forth.
Right.
Is this the shit on Chicago Games Hour?
No, this is where we
No.
praise them
We're
wholeheartedly
not
'cause it
shitting
was-
on the Chicago
because it
Games.
was awesome.
We're talking about.
But we know you're going to come in and shit on it, so we're praising them first. So
Oh no, they deserve a lot of praise because one, the largest pipe band contest I've ever seen in the United States.
yeah, Pleasanton's got to be similar. Like in its
Fucking-
heyday.
I don't know. I've never
heyday,
been to
back,
one with
back
that
in the
many
day. But
bands.
like,
That was crazy.
holy shit! Like that was amazing. The amount of bands that we got to see.
Yeah, at this time of year, absolutely. That was great.
That blew my cock right out of my asshole.
Yeah, so
The
I li-
athletics
I-
contest. I watched some of the athletics.
I
don't
didn't
know
get
if
I
you
didn't get over there at all. No.
Oh, I did.
So
It was
the
fabulous.
athletics contest was also fucking amazing.
The athletics field was great.
It was fucking cool.
love
as
What
shit.
was different? Like what made it better than average? Say.
No, I would say it was on par It was on par with like what we do because they had at least 120 athletes.
Okay. So
And-
just the size of it, like what makes
Yeah,
it different? Like why is it
The
good?
size, the safety, like the crowd, like that was all fucking awesome.
Yeah, I like the setup better. I think the safety was better, in my opinion. I know I'm going to get
Dude.
shit for this, but
You outranked
I'm
me.
sorry.
What are you gonna do to
but
me?
I just like the way it was set up better, and the whole VIP situation is very interesting.
Well,
But I do like the way the athletics.
it should be VUP, very unimportant person.
No. Look, the athletics field was great, and there was a clean shot, like you could see everything. Where ours has one side, you could go on all four of their athletics.
The
So
thing-
I liked it. It was great. I think it was well done.
And I apologize, Stephen. I don't know enough. Are you involved in the organizing of the event?
Not at all.
Okay, so I can shit talk it. Perfect.
No,
At your own risk.
We're gonna have Jim Simmons on the show.
Never mind.
So we'll discuss it then. But
dude,
in my opinion, this is.
do you want me to,
this is-
try to get Jim Sim?
Oh, I've already talked to him. Don't worry.
We just
you don't
talk
don't-
about the
No,
piping.
don't get him on now. I've already talked to him.
Let's
but
talk about the pipe.
but in my opinion, this is a Piper's Games.
It's 100% for participants.
Correct, which I appreciate.
Yeah, like it's for bagpipers, athletes. I don't know enough about the dancers to know if it
Yeah.
was for them.
I don't know.
I did
I'm sure it
see-
was. Similar.
I went over and saw.
But
them,
it's like
so.
it's 100% a participants games.
Right. Which is similar to across the pond, where they don't care who shows up; they just want to have.
Yeah, they just want to.
It's like pipers and judges, and go for it.
It's
and then,
pipers,
But it's also
and
field.
pipers and athletes, and
In a field.
The rest of you can go fuck off.
But it's
Correct.
very much supported by
like government, because they're
the athletes. No, the athletes and the pipers.
meaning
I
they show up or they pay. What do
they
you mean?
show up. They're buying beer. They're buying food. They're hanging
Nobody could buy
out.
beer at that place.
Not in Chicago. Like one beer tank. Come on. Anyway, that's neither in
I
it.
But
just,
no,
I
that part's
thought, I don't know if it was a bad thing or a good thing. It was just different than what I'm used to
It was
seeing.
very different than what
And it
we
was,
do.
but I loved it.
No, it was awesome. Like I said, and I will reiterate, it's just like this was very much an event for the participants. Like it was a pipe band and athlete event.
Right. I agree.
And everyone else, whether they paid to walk in or just walked the fuck in, because they had no gates.
That was a little interesting. And I
Like,
still
pay if
paid
you
the
want to, or
$30,
don't.
like everyone else is like,
Yeah,
yeah, you can be
you
here,
can pay,
or
you
you could
can
not
not.
be here.
Yeah, we don't care.
But like the athletes, amazing showing. I've never seen more pipe bands. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. There was, yeah. I mean, the beer tent thing, that was the only issue I saw. But
And then people are like, "Oh well, what about like the vendors and the clans?" Like, what fucking vendors?
like, yeah, they didn't.
They were
I mean,
there.
they were there. I didn't go
There were-
see them.
Yeah, all 7.
Yeah. But who cares, really? They're a pain in the ass anyway. But so the one thing that was interesting,
Spoken like a true bagpiper.
yeah, I don't care about any of that. I promise you. So I talked to Eric Omelette. We saw him on Friday night in a hotel, the pipe major of the Ulster band.
Yep.
And I've known him through Dojo and stuff. But like we were chatting about, what were we just talking about? I said to him like, oh, you guys got to play both sets in the same day. Like, I didn't know that was going to happen. I had no idea.
Gnarly.
It's like he's like, yeah, of course we would. Why would we do it any other way? I'm like, well, on the West Coast we don't do it that way. It's always a 2-day game.
2-day games.
You got to be
not
there on
Friday.
Saturday, Sunday. You play
it's
your
a week.
MSR or whatever on Saturday. You play your medley on Sunday. It's just all. This is the way we do it out there. Like as far as I know, he's like, oh, we don't do anything like that. It's always on the same day. Like that's fucking brilliant. I hate being there 2 days. It sucks. Get it done and be out.
But this game's was Friday, so what happened on
Well,
Friday?
the solos were on Fridays. Oh. Yeah. So
Also, do you know why that model exists?
I know because you guys care about the audience. I don't.
Well,
care
because
about
we have to get enough people to pay to get
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Right, but
to
so does
hold
Chicago.
it again.
Sure. Yeah. But Chicago found a way around that somehow, or the East Coast doesn't do it that way. There must be a way around that.
Okay, so
Wait
I don't
till
even want to
2023.
They've been around as long as you guys have been.
I don't even want to get into the weeds about because I ran into one of the board
Well,
members.
yeah,
at the-
and they
at
were
the bar.
bleeding money like hand over fist.
Yeah,
And on
they
Friday
they
night,
should
and
have
I'm
two
not
beer
going to
tents.
even go there. There were 2 beer tents.
The one was shit. The one behind the stage. That did.
Anyway, I would argue that the model that we currently employ may be the most surviving model.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't have any involvement.
I don't know. I'd like to hear from the guys. What do you think?
Let's start with Beer Boy.
So I thought it was unique that they had the games on Friday and Saturday, which kind of points, to that it was a participant games, because if they have the games Friday and Saturday, it shows that they're kind of not really too concerned with people coming to watch. They're focused more on the participants, which is cool. But the games, I think, like the games here in Oklahoma, they're Saturday and Sunday, but all the pipe band contests are one day. Like, I'm pretty sure Stone Mountain is like that. I'm pretty sure that Dalton can probably be more of a expert on this than I am, but I'm pretty sure like a lot of the games
Stoned
that like
Jesus,
North Texas goes to.
Chime in.
Like, what?
I said Stoned Jesus. Chime in.
Yeah, I think we in the East Coast, we tend to just have a single day for everything.
Really?
And the date dictates whether it's MSR or medley for each grade level. And it alternates. So like grade 3 and even day would mean different set than a grade 4 band. But that being said, like we played non-sanctioned stuff like the Virginia Tattoo, which is both events, and Chicago. And we challenged up to grade 2 at the Tattoo. So we played MSR medley. So we had 4 runs, which is a lot. But it's kind of, I feel like it kind of depends, because I don't know I feel like the majority of grade 5 and grade 4 and even some grade 3 bands really don't have the capacity to put 2 full performances on the field without either having one performance suffer or the tonality or whatever. And it definitely depends maybe on the time of year too. But I don't think it would be in the South. I don't know if that would be a smart move in the middle of the summer when most of our games are. That we already have in the late spring, early summer, we have people having heat issues and stamina and all of that. So 2 events would be a lot, I think, especially for the lower level bands.
Triple B, or Bravo. I can't say Beer Boy Brad anymore because you're not Beer Boy.
Mm-mm.
So Triple B, what do you guys face when it comes to preparing for a grade 5 event?
Getting people to practice. We faced a lot of issues with people blowing tone, maintenance, like grade 5 issues.
Stamina.
Yeah. There were some people in our band who had some stamina issues. Even before, like they've just consistently had stamina issues, and John is going to address that come this week. I think he's going to start becoming a little bit more.
Don't use his name.
Oh, Bagpipe Daddy?
Yeah.
Bagpipe Daddy's probably going to become a little more stern with maintenance. Because I made some water manometers for us, and we tried to use them, and we just couldn't because people were just blowing air out of like stocks and stuff.
Wait! Did you decide that people's bagpipes should be easy to play and they may benefit from a dojo method?
Oh yeah,
efficiency.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
It hasn't caught on yet. But if I can get you 2 fucks to join my band, I can get these guys to do some dojo stuff. So,
well, are you sure?
Yeah,
that's a.
You should never be sure, especially not with us. We still okay. So real quick,
ask Steve the same question
for the live stream audience. I just want to say we have at least another 40 minutes on the pod.
No. Not
really?
On the pod.
What?
What, you got your mind? We're about done on the pod.
How did that?
And then the happy hour begins.
Right. A happy 40 minutes.
There's no way.
So
Happy hour starts at 2.
no, it's supposed to start at 1.
Oh, so
We're behind.
So
We're behind
we're-
a half an hour.
You guys are already 20 minutes behind.
We have a hard out at 2. Remember?
Congratulations.
But that's okay.
You have a hard out too.
We do.
Why? What do you? You have a mouse in your pocket?
Let's not discuss this on the show. It's not important.
Okay.
So,
Moving
should we quickly do some closing thoughts on the Chicago Highland Games?
We should.
Okay, where do you want to start?
Steve. We'll go with Steve first.
Yeah, Steve's got shit to do.
Exactly. Tell us, give us your final thoughts on the Chicago Games, your band, the success you've had, anything you want to talk about.
Well, honestly, it has been sort of a low-key but long-time dream of mine to teach a grade 4 band and win a serious contest, and that dream came true this past Saturday, and I've been over the moon about it all week.
That's great.
And I'm really grateful to everyone, all the pipers and drummers who put the work in all this time. We've all proven to ourselves what we're capable of, and it can totally get better too. As for the games itself, it's like you guys said, it really is designed for participants, and I think that's why it's really attracted bands from all over the country and become such a huge event, because people like the idea of, okay, solos are one day, band is another. There's 2 hotels right on the grounds right there and a third one nearby. You don't have to worry about solos and band on the same day, and the bands can compete in something different than your standard circle. So it's really well-designed, well-thought-out event from start to finish.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to doing it again.
Yeah, that's great, man. Congratulations on you guys winning and your dream coming true. Does that mean you just get to fucking give it up, throw it all away? Like, hey, I'm going to go do some other shit now?
Congrats!
I'm out.
I'm out. Fuck you guys. I'm out.
Congrats on an awesome set.
Not this
bro.
year, but we're gonna see how far we can take this, because we're having fun doing it.
That's
and
great.
If you don't mind indulging me, I just want to give a quick shout out. I mentioned a bandmate who opened his home to us. His name is Neil Hansen, and we're really grateful to him. He did that for as long as he could. Then he sold that house, but then he opened his workshop to us. He owns his own business, and we practiced there. And then once we got regular practice halls going again, we were good. But he was a big part of how we kept going the whole time. So I really appreciate him.
That's awesome.
Shout out Neil.
That's great, man. So, Dalton, final thoughts, Waken District success, moving forward, things you guys have, planned. What's next for you guys?
Yeah, we've got some other competition sets, new music that we're really trying to get off the ground and switch to. It's always good to keep new music coming in, even if it's just like a parade set, just cycling through stuff, challenging people, not letting your repertoire get stale.
Very important.
So
yeah.
that's kind of the back half of the year view for us. We're just mainly just floored, not just that we won, but the placings. It was just it was a great day.
Yeah.
And I think everybody had a lot of fun.
The consistency of placings really demonstrates a lot. It really says a lot about what you guys are doing there. Yeah. For sure.
It's McClellan.
It's all McClellan bagpipes.
McClellan and Melvin.
Hey, that's fucking funny.
Win.
Which is also similar to what Steve talked about, is that you guys have, this Neil guy opened up his business. Joe also opens up his business that he newly bought, McClellan bagpipes to you guys, and the Raleigh, what are they called?
Old Raleigh Distillery.
Old Raleigh Distillery, yeah.
I thought Joe bought Dave Stilto Emporium.
Joe owns everything in North Carolina at this point. I don't know.
He owns the Mexican restaurant across the street too.
That's a great place to hang out.
Doesn't he also own Uncle Fester's Fisters?
I can't speak to that, but Beer Boy Brad, do you have any final thoughts for today?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun in Chicago. John Bagpipe Daddy wanted me to tell you guys thanks for playing with us, and that if you guys want to go to Stone Mountain or Tulsa with us, you're more than welcome to. We didn't win, but I think this was our first year competing as a competition band. So I think, where we placed was pretty good.
What, 4 out of 12?
Yeah. So
That's not bad, mate.
yeah. So those are my final thoughts. And thanks for playing with us again. It really meant a lot to me.
Anytime, my brother. I apologize in advance for playing with Memphis next time.
Hey, I'm also glad we beat Memphis too. Like I wanted to beat.
That was your only goal. I remember you telling me that was your goal, is to beat Memphis. That's all you wanted.
Yeah,
to do.
and we did. So hopefully they come to Tulsa.
So we thankfully have no ridiculous Chicago stories.
Oh, we have them. We just haven't shared them.
Yeah,
but
we don't have
Well,
time
but
for all that.
we don't have time. We're out of time.
we're all out
Kids.
of time.
Maybe next time
We're
we'll
out
tell
of
those crazy
time,
Chicago
kids.
stories.
That sucks. I have stories about Kelly at the bar. So
I have stories about you at the bar.
In the
Brad.
horse
You
head.
don't remember the
in
bar.
the horse head mask.
Take your hat off,
So
Brad.
next episode we'll talk about Beer
Oh,
Boy.
look, you recovered completely. How nice.
Yeah, I don't have that sick hat tan anymore.
That was fabulous.
On the next episode we'll talk about Beer Boy Brad buying Bob Whirl a glass of wine, and we'll talk about Kelly and.
No, so I thought that was going to be today,
Hey.
which is why I wanted to
Hey.
be here.
You know what we say to the Kelly Sheehan Itasca story? Nay.
Nay. I say nay, nay.
Well, guys, I thank you guys for both coming on. I appreciate your patience with us and all things Chanarant. But it's been a fun episode. We learned something, I think. Did we learn anything?
Did we learn something today?
I don't know. We never do. We never learn.
I think I unlearned something. I don't know what it is yet, though.
Yeah,
Even better.
We sucked
I think
education out of your
Yes.
mind, Dalton, and it made you.
I could just kill
made you
some
less-
brain cells.
You're less useful as a pipe major now than you were an hour ago.
It's not the first time you've been sucked.
Oh my god.
I did not say that, so I'm just putting it on for the record.
Joe Brady is a vampire. He sucks everything. So anyway, yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
I guess we're out. Josh, you want to finalize
That's
put a
it?
stamp on this thing?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to episode 195 of the Chanarant podcast. And with that, beep boop.
Maybe at the very least it increases your alcohol tolerance for the day. So then maybe
Wait a minute. They've been drinking coffee. Don't be
they-
ridiculous.
Somebody got a drink. I saw somebody get up.
Oh.
Dalton's no pussy.
I haven't
God.
eaten lunch yet.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. Where are those capriati sandwiches? That's what I'm.
They're in the
on the
fucking
counter.
kitchen. God damn it. I mean,
Listen, woman.
Where? Oh.
Oh no,
You know what?
Andy, no, not right now, Andy, not right now.
I know you got a new haircut.
Not right now, because Andy,
Listen,
Andy.
Kelly.
Yeah, whatever.
There's also
me a sandwich,
so
woman.
many knives and guns.
You are
back
not getting a sandwich now. Little
I
bitch.
need a sandwich and an abortion stat.